Hello and welcome back to the channel. So if you are a regular viewer of the channel and the stream, then you know that before every single KvK in Pre-KvK specifically, I do an account review of my own account. So I go over my commanders, my equipment, my armaments, what commanders I'm going to be running in the field, what my investment priorities are going to be with the commanders coming out, as well as kind of what my intentions are for this KvK and myself and for the kingdom as a whole. So let's dive into it. So to give you an introduction, if you have not seen my channel before, my name's Big Kane. I've been playing Rise of Kingdoms now for just over 4 years. In fact, when I say just over, I mean just over. I hit my 4-year anniversary just a few days ago, and this is kind of the status of my account. I'm VIP 18. I still cannot believe that I can't hit VIP 19, but you know what? It is what it is. I'm actually not that big of a whale, even though sometimes it might seem like it. I do play this game a lot. I get a lot of the free-to-play value. I grind KvK Barbarians, with chaining, all the good stuff. So in that sense, I kind of make up for the fact that I actually don't spend like an absolute kraken. Now I say that, and I'm going to tell you my total spent right now. My total spent in Rise of Kingdoms over these 4 years is about $30,000. And now some of you just heard me say I'm not a whale, and then all of a sudden you heard me say $30,000, and now you think I'm full of crud. But I promise you, compared to some people in this game who are really whaling out, spending about that $7,000, $8,000 a year is really not that crazy to a lot of people in this game. Now, it is still a lot of money, don't get me wrong. Invest well, make sure that you're comfortable in your own situation, have savings, have no credit card debt, etc. But just understand that, somehow $7,000 to $8,000 a year is still not enough for VIP 19 and not even close to VIP 20. So take that into account when you guys are investing in this game and how much you actually want to invest. But so this is my account. I'm sitting at 15.5 billion kill points, 120 million power. My last KvK, I got 157 million units killed. This was my record. Fortunately, we won the KvK. You could probably tell by my autarchs. I know it's almost cut off here, but we are 5 for 5. In fact, I'm 6 for 6. My first autarch I actually received before this kind of tracking system was introduced. So I've won my last 6 KvKs in a row, which is very fortunate. I think it might actually be more than 6, but I can't remember. The last KvK I lost was KvK 4 in 2638 back when I was there. And I don't even know that. I don't know. It's been so long. Now that's partially because everywhere I go, I understand that they know the game. I surround myself with really great players, the leadership team, the members here, even in 2638, my old kingdom, right? It was all a great community and really fun to be a part of. So with that said, I am more of an imp main, and so we're going to go into kind of my specialty here and kind of what I'm going to run in the open field in my commander. So you can see on the left side of my screen, I do have most of the meta, if not all of the meta commanders maxed. I will not be able to max Ragnar Logbrook, even though I do think he will be meta. I will be maxing Scipio Aemilianus in the MGE, because I might inf rally with them, but honestly, I'm not a huge fan of the inf rally in the current meta, so I have chosen to not max them immediately. So I only have 218 gold heads, so when this, Ragnar Prime really comes out to the game, I won't be able to max him. I do think he will not replace Guan. I think he's going to replace William Wallace. I know, hot take. You can see my video above. I'm actually going to go ahead and link it, but I do believe that William Wallace will hit the bench, and you will run Ragnar with Liu Che, then you're going to run Guan with Skippy. You're going to have 4 AoE commanders on your inf marches, and honestly, that's really, really strong. Guan Silence, too strong to replace, and William Wallace is barely, if at all, better than Alex, and I know that Liu Che is really a driving force behind that William Wallace combo, and Ragnar is just better than Alex. I mean, based on his kit, right? Like, it's pretty obvious, but, Alex and Liu Che does magical thing. So I don't entirely know that combination. Anyway, to go into my sets, I am a 7 March player. I do max tech in KvK. I do invest most of my materials and armaments into my garrison set. Actually, I won't say armaments because I don't spend on armaments, and actually, I haven't even opened Arch Formation in months because I'm still trying to kind of just weld out my field sets, but here we go. So this is my main infantry set. I use this with a Gorgo Constantine, Gorgo Hera, or a Gorgo Attila based on the garrison and the KvK that I'm in. You can see it's mostly Iconic 5. I'm getting this to Iconic 5 shortly. We are very close. We're about halfway there. And then these I don't have the blueprint patterns for, but I hope to pick them up in the KvK that I am about to join. So probably by Kingsland, depends on how much I chain, but this could be all iconic 5 by Kingsland. Obviously, I don't really care about the gloves. I mean, for kind of the OCD sake, I might just go ahead and get this to 5 just for the screenshot. But yeah, so this is the imp set, and these are the armaments that I use with my Liu Che. So obviously Arch Formation, I got the Invincible Battle Ready on a double inscription. I have had the opportunity to buy Destructive, and I have not, because honestly, the upgrade from Bellicose plus Battle Ready, like if you've seen my video already on the Battle Ready inscription, like this is nearly as good as Destructive. So you know, there's not real point. I can get a Hunter and increase my field marches elsewhere, or just like a circle formation or something like that. So anyway, that's my Inf March number 1. My next March is my Cav number 1. So this is very lucky on this Mora's Web here, but essentially this is my Cav set. Nice set. Again, I told you I don't entirely spend on armaments. I'm not going to say that I'm free to play armaments. It's not true. I have spent probably a couple $100, but that is it. So this is my second Inf set here, and then my wedge armaments. You're going to see a lot of hunters here, by the way, and you know, this is one of the benefits of winning so many KvKs, is that you get a lot of hunters. This is then my primary archer set, so it's a Zug, usually with a Herman secondary. These are the armaments for that. Most of which have not actually really been updated in a while, even though I continue to open chests. This is my archer set. Now it's on, or a second archer set. This is it's on Canyon currently because I'm running Trajan, Shajar, and Canyon. Working really well for me, by the way, so would highly recommend that. And then these are my second armaments for archers. Next up, we're getting to kind of the land of the calves, and so this is my third set for calves. This is the only set that is not fully iconic, so this will be finished by the time KvK ends. And then these are the armaments for my third calf set. Now, this has breaker, but I'm probably, and I know it's not a great armament, guys, but we're talking about third calf set, okay? Bear with me. I will probably end up putting this hunter that I got last KvK on this armament and then just rolling with it. And then this will be mostly complete. So, and now my last set of gear is my second cav set. It goes on my Huo. Pretty good, you know, decent, has all the right stuff. And then these are the armaments for that. I have put almost 100 transmutation stones into this armament alone. Yes, I am currently marching cav, or locking the cav march speed, because I can't. I have spent over. I've used 2 transmutation crystals on this armament. So I re-rolled it, right? So I didn't lock this. I re-rolled it multiple times. I got to 5 out of 10 and I was like, okay, fine. I'll just take the positive stat. I'll try to roll down. So I rolled a 5, got rid of the 25, and then afterwards I'm like, okay, I don't want to spend more. Like, I don't care about the march speed. It's fine. It's my second calf set, whatever. I rolled this with 50 stones, and then I missed. I whiffed on everything, not a single positive stat. Then I used another transmutation crystal, did that again, didn't get a single calf set. Anyway, brutal. So I'm at like 130 transmutation stones on this armament alone. It's really, really upsetting. So that being said, this is a, you know, good set still, but that really needs to change just for my OCD, right? It's like the cav stats, like, come on, just get off the right side of my screen, please. Now the stats are kind of low, I guess, but you know, what can you do? I take what I can and I invest elsewhere. So those are my armaments and gear. Let's actually get into my marches that I'm going to run. So if we look here, I've got 2 different sets. I've got an open field set, and then I've got my garrison set. So, you know, what I'm going to be running when I'm fielding, what I'm going to be running when I'm in the garrison. So while I'm in the field, I'm going to be running Liu Che with Wallace. I know I had a video that came out that said William Wallace is better as the primary. I did that without field testing, and the truth is that the field testing was just overwhelmingly positive for the Liu Che primary. Why is that? Well, the talent build that I was recommending actually just has no march speed on William Wallace. It was not fast enough. It was super slow. And then what ends up happening when you're in the field is that oftentimes in combat, you're in combat for just long enough for your primary commander to fire that active skill, and then the target dies. And so what happens when William Wallace is the primary skill, he will fire off his active skill, and then will not hit any other targets and drop rage, and now you have to restart combat again. And so when Liu Che is the primary commander, he'll fire that 5 target AoE, and you'll be in combat, you'll be ramping damage, and it's really, really strong. So you'll notice that all my commanders here do have an AoE, but for whatever reason, just as the primary, Liu Che does a lot better in this configuration. So we have Liu Che with Wallace, Zio with Herman, Guan Skippy, Shajar with what's his name? Ashur-Banipal, not Nebuchadnezzar. I almost said Nebu, but Ashur-Banipal secondary. Now this is my new March. Obviously, Shajar came out pretty recently. There was a lot of discussion whether it's like a large upgrade to YSG or Nebu, and the truth is that it's not a large upgrade. In fact, the March individually will probably perform almost the exact same. However, you go into Shajar's kit, and the buffs that she is granting and the healing that she's granting to your teammates does actually make it so that it performs a little bit better in your ball. But it's like the same concept as Belly Prime. It's the same concept as William Wallace to Alex. Like, it is such a minor upgrade, if one at all, that I wouldn't actually recommend that investment to most people. Like, the new commander, Ragnar Prime, coming out is probably a better investment than Shajar. My fifth March is going to be that Hua with William, classic staple, Nevsky Joan, and then XY with Belly. Now, once I actually can unlock 7 Marches, I'm probably going to change this to Hua with Belly and then XY William. I played around with that a little bit in my last KvK, and actually I found that XY William did significantly better than XY Belly, and then the Hua with Belly actually did just about the same as Hua with William. So, you know, if I can increase this XY March at least a little bit of the damage output, that would be nice, because we all know that it gets targeted really, really quickly. So now when I hop into here, this is my second preset. This is my garrison preset. Most of the marches that you see on the right side are the same, but essentially I have to swap up my inf sets. So I'm garrisoning with Gorgo Constantine if I'm using only inf. It'll probably be Gorgo Attila for the most part in this upcoming KvK, because they do have the artifact. And then I swap my second inf march to Scipio with Liu Che secondary. So everything else remains the same. So where does that leave us for this upcoming KvK? Well, as far as my expectations and my roles, well, you'll see on your screen now, I've got like a little snippet of my performance last KvK. I got just under 3 billion kill points and about 4.4 million deaths. Now, I do intend on improving. I try always to improve on my last performance. I have the most speed ups that I've ever had actually in 1981, which is almost 2 years, a little bit over 2 years of speed ups. I know it's kind of crazy when you think about it. I really don't generate speed ups at some insane rate, but at the same time, like I zero my account every single KvK. I mean, I have 0 speeds after every KvK, and 1981 is the first Pop Kingdom, and for the first time ever, we actually had 1 skip. And so I was able to generate a decent amount more, and we're looking at, you know, a little bit over 2 years. Hopefully that allows me to get anywhere from that 3 to 4 billion KP range, obviously assuming 1606 is going to fight, which obviously they will. So that's going to be really fun. I do intend on garrisoning still. You guys saw my preset, so I will still be a garrison. So this pre-KvK, I will have to train as much inf as possible. Where are my troop details? Yeah, I need a little bit more inf. Last KvK, I think I had like 1.5 mil of each left, and I was out of infantry just because how much I garrison. But I do believe that Tides of War makes it so that your garrison can't die, so I can actually join with like 100 troops, I think, which will be absolutely fantastic. Now I know that there's a way to cheese that, because as soon as you drop combat, your garrison dies. So technically they could like swarm it and then stop, and then my garrison leaves, and then the rally hits. But we'll see if anyone's actually that, you know, dedicated to the craft. We'll see. You know, just always have a backup garrison on standby in case you need it. But in a sense, you know, Tides KvK really helps out garrisons. So, but yeah, so those are the goals for the KvK. It's gonna be really fun. We're gonna get that over 3 billion KP mark, and it'll be a blast. So hope you guys tune in to those streams, and I will see you guys again in the next one. Peace.